Hey people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well and in good health. Okay, right now we're going to take a look at the Bank of America, an article around better money habits. So as you know, this channel's all about money, finance, personal finance, and all those great things. So let's take a look at this article. So it's basically in the field of saving and budgeting, 8 simple ways to save money. Now, we are living in a world where cost of living crisis, financial crises are impacting people's lives on a daily basis. So let's take a look at some of these tips and see if they are relevant or not. So the first tip is record your expenses. Now, it says here the first step to start saving money is figuring out how much you spend. I think that pretty much is a good idea because you want to pretty much, if you go shopping, for example, you want to put together all your receipts that you get from the supermarket, the shops, and then at the end of the month, you can tally them up. You can put them into a spreadsheet and then work out how much you've actually spent. It says here, keep track of all your expenses. That means every coffee, household item, cash tip, as well as regular monthly bills. Record your expenses. However, it's easier for you. You can use a pencil, a paper. If you haven't got access to software, or you can always use basic spreadsheets on Excel or free online spending tracker tools or applications even on your mobile phone these days. So once you've got that data organized, the numbers by categories, you can put it together in different kind of aspect categories. For example, gas, groceries, mortgages, food, all that kind of stuff, and then tally it all up. And you can look at your credit statements, your bank statements as well, and that'll be useful because then it'll give you an idea of what the outgoings are and potentially what the incoming in is as well. For example, you could be working a job, you could be getting side hustle, and then you can look at your income tally and your expenditures and work out the difference. Number two, look at basically an element of saving in your budget. So now that you know what you spend in a month, you can begin to create a budget. Now, this budget should show you what your expenses are relative to your income. So basically, your outgoings and your income, you work out what they are, and then I'll give you the data you need to work out the budget that you need to be looking at on a monthly basis. So you can plan that out and obviously limit your overspending that you might be doing. So be sure to factor in expenses that occur regularly but not every month, such as car maintenance, so ad hoc or kind of miscellaneous kind of expenses. Savings, so you can put in a savings category in your budget and aim to save an amount that initially feels comfortable to you, and plan on eventually increasing that as you go along. So you could start off with 5% savings and build it up as time goes on to maybe 30, 40, even 50% or more. Okay, find ways to cut spending. Now, number three here on this 8 ways of better money habits is, if you can't save as much as you'd like, it might be time to cut back on expenses. So identify non-essentials such as subscriptions to entertainment channels or that type of stuff, dining out at expensive restaurants, or eating gourmet kind of foods. So you can actually look at spending less and look out for ways to save on your fixed monthly expenses, such as car insurance, cell phone plans, and so on. I'll give you one tip. I mean, every time I get my insurance comes down on an annual basis, right? What I do is I ring up the supplier and I ask them if they could give me like a loyalty discount or a better offer, that kind of stuff. And at times I've saved like nearly $100 or £100 plus by doing just that. So try not to have it auto renewed. Just make a note of when your renewal is due. For example, if it's annual, and then a few weeks in advance ring the company up and then basically try and negotiate something, ask them for a loyalty discount. You might not get anything, but quite often they do give you some sort of savings there. So that's one way to kind of potentially save. So you can search for other things like free activities, look at resources, community events, listings, look at recurring charges such as classic subscriptions, look at the cost of eating, i.e. eating out, getting takeaways all the time. I know we have like this, apps where you can get deliveries to your house these days. So people get laid back and they want to order the food in, but look at cooking at home, get meat, make it at home, make it last for a few days. That can help you save money. And obviously wait before you buy. You can, potentially get sales, like for example, New Year sales, Christmas sales, that type of period to buy big items so you can save more money. Okay, look at setting saving goals, right? So set these saving goals and see what happens. So one of the best ways to save money is to set goals, right? Start by thinking about what you might want to save for. So that could be a new car, it could be to start up a business, it could be to buy a house, whatever it might be, right? Both short term, long term, possibly 1 to 3 years, and then or 3 to 5 years long, more mid term, and then 5 to 10 years in terms of more long term. And then you can get an idea of how these goals will impact your kind of mentality, mindset, and that will help you build. So common short-term goals might be emergency fund, right, which might last you 6 months, for example, and more longer-term stuff could be like down payments on homes or cars that you might need, or saving for retirement or education. Okay, moving on to determining your financial priorities. What is your financial priority? Is it to save for a house so you can have your own home? Is it to set up a business, set up a side hustle, buy products and sell them on for higher prices to make money, and so on? So look at your expenses and income, look at your goals, and then see what's going on from there, and then allocate your savings accordingly. For example, if you know you're going to need to replace your car in the near future, you could start putting money away right now for the future and then see what happens. So, but be sure to remember long-term goals as well. Have that in your mindset and your mind's eye. It's important that planning for retirement doesn't take a backseat either. So look at different ways to plan for retirement as well, and also learning how to prioritize your saving goals can give you that extra advantage and edge when it comes to savings. Pick the right tools. So there are many saving investment accounts that you can look at. So for example, ISAs in your local banks or your bank accounts. So look at the different offerings that the financial institutions where you're based offer, and then pick accordingly. And you don't have to pick just one. You can look at different ones, different options. So short-term goals. So if you need the money like sooner rather than later, you can look at different things like saving accounts and other elements there. Longer-term goals, you can look at things like securities such as stocks, mutual funds, investing. For example, S&P 500, long-term kind of investments. So make saving a habit, make it automatic. So for example, if you're working and you get a monthly wage, let's say you get a monthly wage of 2 grand, try and put away at least, if you can, 50% or 10%, depending on your needs, your expenses, and so on, right? So almost a lot of banks offer that automated transfers, for example. So what I do is when I get some income, I send a certain amount of money to another account, savings accounts, to make sure that I've got automated savings on a monthly basis, and then if anything happens, then I've got an emergency there to tap into. Or other accounts where you can have for investing, for example, in stocks, in assets such as real estate, or gold, for example, metals, precious metals, palladium, silver, and so on. And then you can look at developing and building an automated system. And obviously there are apps that will help you as well, and other saving tools online that you can download for free. And then just look at watching your savings grow. So review your budgets over time. It's not going to happen in a day or a week. You've got to be in it for the long term. Watch the progress go, but look at the little wins and know that you're on the right path, right? Over time, these savings will build up, and then you'll be able to allocate them to investments, to short-term goals, long-term goals, and so on. Okay, people, so that was a quick overview of the Bank of America's 8 simple ways to save money. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like, share, subscribe. Comment below. Let me know what your kind of saving tips are. Do any of these tips resonate with you? Have you ever used them before? Do you have any special tips that you might want to share with the audience, and subscribe to the channel? But don't forget to subscribe and also click the notification bell so you can keep up to date with all the latest. Okay, people, catch you in the next one.